So I got a little shit earlier from somebody. What was it? They were laughing at me because I said that the glue is really what holds the enclosure together, not the screws. Somebody was trying to do like I forget what it's called, like a toe-in something, which is it's really that's a framing technique. That's not a finishing technique for cabinet building. So as far as speaker boxes go, just like with speaker building, as far as the drivers, learn the basics. So the old term is read the directions even if you don't follow them. So what I did was I read a few books on, this was in the early 90s. I read a few books on wood finishing, cabinet building. That was where somebody made fun of me for recommending a cabinet shop to build speaker boxes. You got to understand, for a cabinet maker to build a speaker box, it's like beneath them. A cabinet maker can make some really, really nice furniture. And in home speaker building, that's really what you're making, is you're making furniture that has a high, what's known as a SAF, high SAF, which is spousal approval factor, meaning that your wife usually has to approve of the furniture and speakers before you can build them or whatnot. So these were a set that I built. I built probably 2 or 3 sets of these versions of them with some drivers that I got out of Matasound. No, not Matasound, sorry, Meniscus. They were closeouts from the Rockford buyout when Rockford Fosgate came in and bought Carbonu there in Rockford, Illinois, at their former factory. And I think they're a cousin to the Visitone speakers. It was sold as a 5-inch, but it's technically like a 4.5. And then I countersunk them. When I built these in Hawaii, there was one veneer guy at the time. This was like 95, 96. There was a guy there they were actually doing veneering onto MDF with, real veneers. This one is actually African Mohogany. And he had all kinds of exotic stuff. I did not realize how many rich people there are in Hawaii. There's a lot of rich people, and they like really nice furniture. And it's really super expensive to build it out of hardwoods. And also because of the humidity, you don't really want to build out of hardwoods because they don't last. They tend to warp and weird out and do stuff. So the good blend is to take a nice solid 3/4 inch MDF, which is a very good solid product. It's not affordable in Hawaii because everything's expensive in Hawaii, but you can still order it out of Portland or some sort of northwestern seaport because they have wood products there and they make MDF and things like that. And then you ship it to Hawaii. And then what they would do is they had the machinery there to veneer it with whatever they wanted. And so I ended up doing some installs for a guy. And that was the first time that I ran into, I think it was a Nissan Maxima. I didn't know the Maxima was like a premium car. And at the time in the 90s it was. And it threw me for a loop, and it took me a week to figure it out. I would go there like part-time after work, and it had like 2 small amplifiers underneath the seats. And so I had to find those, and then I jumpered those, and then it was like, okay, this thing works now, and it's powered off a head unit. And I got everything to work, and the guy was really glad that I was able to do it. And I did it for trade, and I also did it to learn. And so one of the things that I got was a bunch of scraps and wood, and this was one of those things. So as far as, it's funny because I talk to people now, and I guess it's just the internet, and people don't know my experience and don't want to take what I say at face value, that I might know what I'm talking about. So, but I built these right around 30 years ago, and they still work great and they sound great. It's this is actually, I swapped this out later when I got back home. This is actually an ADS tweeter, and this was part of the ADS GONZO project that I had done with Richard So, and we ended up using we got these polished aluminum cups for the GONZO tweeter, but we used the same body frame that the ADS tweeter was built upon, because we got a version of it. So at least that's the story I remember. I can't remember now. These actually have ADS crossovers on the back. This is an 8-ohm, and it has a bucking magnet so that you could use it around CRT. Let's see if I can rotate it without it falling off. So it was 8 ohm, 8 ohm, and then I used an ADS crossover to cross it over, and then I have this is an aperiodic membrane. It's just a piece of fiberglass in between two grills, and you can get these for $5 or $7. They were sold under the Dynadio brand and then a sister brand, which I think is ScanSpeak. They both use the same thing. You can make your own. It's at the time I just wanted it. My OCD was in full effect, and you want the best of the best. So, and then I used a dual terminal like that, and then it's kind of dumb to buy amp, but whatever I did, and so, but yeah, these are just some projects. The ones I built for my friend Barry in Sacramento are even nicer. I think those are tower speakers, and I built stands for them and things like that. And yeah, guys, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. When I'm talking about building cabinets, I know how to build cabinets. I know how to do the stuff that MB Enclosures knows how to do. And it's a kind of a waste of time, because all of that, all of that skilled labor that used to be required in order to make a cabinet doesn't exist anymore, because you can program a computer to do it. And I have friends, my good friend, William Brown, has bought a $30,000 CNC machine that makes them actually about 30 grand a month. It's fucking great. And when he can squeeze me in there, he's like, tell me what to do, tell me what, the dimensions, and I send him a drawing or something like that, or send him just the specs on what it should be, and then he sends them back for approval. Then I go, okay, good. And then for the boxes that I just last created, which was it was a high utility box that was 4.3 cubic feet, tuned at 34 hertz, and it was meant for either a really high powered 18, like a GONZO 18, or a regular 15, or two 12s, or three 10s, or four 8s. And what we did was we built them and then assembled them ahead of time, and then later on, when the customer wanted something, they would decide what they wanted, and then we'd cut out whatever they wanted, and we could do it on whichever face they wanted and things like that. So that's the level that I'm at. An enclosure at this point is sort of, it's ubiquitous. It's something that you don't really think about. And so that's what I think is funny about people like MB Enclosures in his area and in his field of influence. It's a lot better than what other people have in their area. So the only reason that he would have any skill again, he doesn't do anything magic. It just means that his clients don't know any better. That's all. So, and I do box designs for free. And I have close to 100 in a file that I have on my computer. And if I have one in there that fits within your parameters or fits within your dimensions, I just send you that one, because I know they're good. They're all good. So again, it's not that I don't like MB Closures, even though I prefer that he not spread the bullshit that he spills. But again, there's nothing special about what he does. Somebody asked me about, does he deserve somebody compared me. They're like, he's got whatever, how many followers, and I'm not doing this for the subscribers. So you got to understand that. And I've been doing it for a lot longer, but I haven't really wanted to be popular. I wanted to stay underground. I wanted to stay sort of secret, so that there was like a, I guess it was just people in the know, people that really wanted to go deep down the rabbit hole and explore all aspects of speaker building and also the business side of it and things like that. So, but that plan is out the window and gone. So, because I want to go make movies now. But so I want to burn all these bridges and show you guys that I know what the fuck that I'm talking about. I built many, many, many enclosures, and I've done hundreds of installs, and I've built thousands of woofers. I just don't document it in a way that, look at me. I want the work to speak for me, not for, I don't want to speak for myself. I don't want to toot my own horn. So, but I do know what I'm doing. And if you want to consult with me, I can help you find the best solution. So use me for that purpose. It helps if there's a payday at the end. So that way that we can, because that's really what I want to do. It's not that I don't want to help people for free. It's just that I'm in a position now where I need to pay bills. And I'm typically, I'm a lot cheaper than any of the gurus out there that charge. My boxes are free. I don't charge for those. Again, because I don't think I do anything magic. All I did was read the instructions, and then I sort of navigate through that. But anyways, I don't want to make any promises about videos doing today because I'm really busy. I got to pack a lot of orders in lieu for tomorrow. Yeah, these are ones that I did back in 96, right before I got out. They're great. I think they play down to about 100 hertz. And then I augment the bottom end with I think this is a 10-inch Kenwood, if I remember right. Passive that I power with this receiver. No. It's active. That's right. It's active. And then I use the receiver to power the 2 speakers. Again, I got all this for maybe $35 at Goodwill. And I would have gone even cheaper had I found a better deal. So in fact, I had a pair of bookshelf speakers that I had for myself that I ended up selling Tyler Dove, who works over there at Unique Car Audio. So part-time. He's a deaf guy that loves bass. So, and for a while he roped me into helping those guys get bass, but those guys, it's a whole different marketing group. But anyways, I love you guys. Stop making a big deal about enclosures. And this level of cabinetry is reserved for home audio and really high end. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do it anymore. Because when you start selling stuff like this to people, you got to charge a lot. Like a pair of speakers like this is like $2,000. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to build them myself. Now, for me to charge $2,000, that takes a special client, and they want perfection. And I don't want to deal with people that want perfection. I want people that want something nice that's affordable. That's a much broader audience, and they also have lower expectations. So that way, my chance of success is greater. I always want to succeed. So sometimes it helps to play on an uneven field whenever you can. It's not necessarily for my benefit, but it just helps me be more successful in a easier way. Does that make sense? Not every mountain is worth climbing, I think is what I'm trying to say. So, and if you ever get yourself locked into a corner or backed into a corner, like my favorite president always said, if you don't like the cards you've been dealt, you can always flip over the card table. And so that's what I'm hoping to do with the audio industry, is just flip the whole fucking thing over and make some really cool shit for you guys and sell it for cheap. So, and hopefully non-badge, so that you guys can resell over and over again, so that, again, you become the plug. You become the guy that knows the guy. And then they have to know you and be nice to you in order to get what they want. I like that. Love you guys. Bye.